Mm-hmm. 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 Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's streaming. Patch notes are later. For today, we play video games. Everybody got that? Do 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 do. I apologize, Paranoid Hugs. I am a very, very bad, horrible man. Do 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 do. That's on the new Twitch drama. I feel like I don't want to comment on it that much until a little bit later. If we know a little bit more, it sounds pretty fucked up though, not gonna lie. Alright, I am Masters 1LP again. We start every day Masters 1LP. Oh, I'm on the wrong scene. What is autistic against the rules now? I can't say autistic. Do 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 do. What about Twitch? There's a lot of drama on Twitch right now. What do you think about getting LP by personal achievement in the game? That'd be really bad. Thank you, Weegie. Thank you, my friend. you never want to look, is Aatrox banned? I'm actually gonna do Aatrox instead of Olaf. I don't really like Olaf into Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are just gonna kill me from across the map. Yeah. What? Can I elaborate a little? Dude, it's not my drama. I don't want to elaborate that much because I don't know that much about it. So, like, yeah. Hello, fam the Viet. Dude, I don't want to comment. Again, I'll say this for the third time. I don't really want to comment that much. Because, like, I don't... Like, I'm not involved in the Twitch drama. I can tell you the gambling shit, but the gambling shit has somehow not become the interesting part anymore. Thank you, J. Paul. Thank you for joining, my friend.
I shall regard their cries as brave steeds, waiting to be whipped, broken, and bridled.
People have just been playing Graves in every role at this point. He's just so unbelievably overtuned. So wait, I guess I'm against Yone, not Warwick. Fair enough.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
They think me defeated, enchained,
Minions have spawned.
unballed. Noble is this carnage. They will call me villain. Come, let me earn their hatred.
Why is the stream titled like this? Well, no more Rule 34. Now it's Hashinshin time. And also, we'll be doing patch notes later when they come up. I'm new to the game. Who's our champion you're playing? Aatrox.
I will hack and chop and thieve and sunder the filth of your farms. Do you see my eggs?
Yone kind of giving me a little bit of a help here by deciding to not show up delayed on time, which, you know, you'd think was a pretty bad decision.
I must destroy even hope.
First blood.
Courage is my soul.
An ally
Oh,
has been
fuck
slain.
off. God damn it. We're 1 for 1.
Drags me from this game. Patience is rock paper. So freedom will come.
Wait.
Slain an enemy.
Damn. It's fine. It's fine. I thought I could perma him with red buff into a kill, but nah, he ghosted, which that's fine.
An enemy has been slain. You have been slain.
Ah, yes. Just Yone things. He must have outplayed me when he used his third gap closer at level 4. Third gap closer at level 4.
Hope and the gods. All that makes them want to live.
Seems like a lot of gap closers for a champion to have already. But you know, his insane mobility is balanced out by his extremely high burst damage, which is balanced out by his tankiness, which is balanced out by his high sustain damage, which is balanced out by his CC, which is balanced out by his strong early game, which is balanced out by being a hyper carry late game. Yeah, I think everyone at this point's watched the Cyberpunk anime, haven't they?
For my imprisonment, they will suffer.
Imagine you want to dodge my Q2 so badly that you jump into my Q3. Seems a little weird when you think about it like that, no? Yeah, Cyberpunk is an anime. Where the fuck have you been? It's everywhere. Everyone's seen it.
By the abyss, what if I gaze into it?
An enemy has been slain.
Your annihilation beckons. Gods and mortals. They deserve only death.
It's not really that good IMO. Yeah, disagree. I mean, it's pretty good. How many gap closers was that?
My training granted me this victory.
The biggest issue with the anime right now is the fact that the whole, like, well, let's just say the bullshit with Rebecca. And now, somehow, through what I assume is a mistranslation, Studio Trigger has now become, like, the face of pro lolicon shit. But that's not, I don't think that's on them.
I am your original. Storm of blades.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Is the anime timed to the game's plot? No. I never played the game. I don't think so. It's more of like a cyberpunk anime. I know, okay, so I know that the studio owns the IP now, right? So, like, everything is tied to the game technically. How has Yone just not been hotfixed back into the fucking Stone Age yet? Just watching that shit. So he gap closed into me a second time, gap closed away from me, gap closed into me, gap closed away from me, and gap closed back into me. He literally, throughout the course of that fight, including the original fight, was able to gap close every 2 seconds. Holy shit, Riot. Like, I honestly think what they need to do is make it so his Q cooldown doesn't go off cooldown until the entire animation is done. And all his Q stacks get reset upon ulting. I think that's the only way they can try to balance this shit out at this point. Because, I mean, look at that, dude. I think also his Q stacks should reset when he uses E. Would that lower his skill cap? Yes, 100%. But, like, how the fuck do you balance a champion like that? Let's be blunt. You can't.
An enemy has been slain.
He's just always gonna be broken tier with his current balance.
An enemy has been slain.
Yay.
Spread my words.
You know, for being 1 in 3, I'm not sure Graves should be able to walk up and melee Silas to death. I don't know, just me. Why didn't I play Cyberpunk? Because it didn't look that good. And then it wasn't that good. I remember I had this exact conversation before the game even released. I said, but what's good about it? And people said, they said you could do this and this and this. And I said, okay, can you? And they were like, they said you can. And I was like, but can you? And they were like, they said you can. I was like, okay, but can you? And that was the entire conversation. Everyone was expecting it to be the second coming of Jesus Christ, and I was like, okay, but is there any proof whatsoever, at all, even slightly, that anything that they're saying is true? Yeah, but they said you can. You guys don't understand. He mechanically outplayed me there. His supreme prowess with the sword and his ability to stack and keep up lethal tempo indefinitely. He gap closed 4 times in 2 seconds, CCing me for the entire duration. But no problem, right? I honestly think the one way you balance Yone, serious honest to God, reset his Q stacks upon using E, reset his Q stacks upon using ultimate, make lethal tempo last for only 5 seconds and it falls off entirely like Conqueror. That would actually make him significantly more predictable, which would actually give him some sort of real counterplay. Instead of the current shenanigans, which is, if Yone doesn't forget how to play his champion, he automatically wins. Yeah, and the worst part is, unlike Yasuo, like if Yone gets his Q interrupted, he still casts a tornado. If you interrupt Yasuo, here's something a lot of people also don't remember. If you interrupt Yasuo's Q, he doesn't cast the tornado. If you interrupt Yone's Q, he still casts a tornado. So Yone doesn't actually, like, that's what I'm saying. Yone literally has no counterplay. If you actually remember how to play Yone, he automatically wins with 0 counterplay available. I also think another change is make his Q stack duration like half of what it is right now. So right now it's what, 6 seconds? Make it like 3. Like I'm saying, basically his Q stacks need to be almost entirely removed from any ability to hold on to them. They should reset on E, they should reset on ult, and the duration should be reduced to 2 seconds. Like, honest to God, 2 seconds. I also think the cooldown shouldn't start until his entire Q animation has played out. I mean, that's exactly the problem. Right there, you've seen the exact issue with the champion's balance. Q's forward, R's, Q's before the R is even done, Q's again. You have 1 second of gameplay, then he Q's to a knockup again, then he E's forward. Q's before you're out of the Q knockup, Q's again, you have 1 second of gameplay, Q3's forward again. He's now gap closed 7 times with a movement speed buff. Good fucking luck, dude. The lower stack duration, he can't actually use Q3. Yes, he can, because lethal tempo. Unless you... Did you forget about lethal tempo? Yep.
If only you'd listened.
I'll make good use of this.
It still takes some time to stack. It stacks on every ability he has other than his ult, which he can't use at level 1, and his W, which also he doesn't have at level 1. And because he has a high attack speed, and because he has his Qs, Yone stacks lethal tempo faster than Aatrox stacks Conqueror, and it has nearly double the duration. So no, it does not take a while to stack. Doesn't Yone almost reach the minimum cooldown cap at level 1 with lethal tempo?
Double kill.
I like how Jin was shooting at us the entire time and MF is just running at him. Jin seems to have lost his peripheral vision, which is fair. Play Yoni then if you so busted. He failed the IQ test, everyone. If he's so OP, then why don't you play him?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Destiny awaits!
Everyone thinks that they've got like the perfect counter statement. They're like, I'm gonna say something that's never been said before in the entirety of the universe. If he's so OP, he stops, thinking to himself, the perfect zinger. If he's so OP, then why don't you play him? He expects the crowd to just be roaring. Oh, no one's ever said that before. Oh my God.
An ally has been slain.
Literally probably the most uttered stupid statement I've ever heard in my life. I just don't understand why so many people come to that one conclusion. Like, imagine a world where literally only champions I personally play can be overpowered or underpowered.
Resurrect! Return!
Shut down. Rampage.
Looking at Aatrox, he has stats, and those stats, yeah, okay, wow, Aatrox could also be overpowered? That's crazy, dude. What if we nerfed Aatrox and Yone? I know, crazy, right? Everyone like, but you're playing Aatrox! How could you say that he's over? But you're playing. Question. In your feeble little brain, did you ever consider that two champions could be overpowered at the same moment? Don't worry. You failed the second IQ test. But what about this champion? They're OP. Oh, okay. Yeah, but now they're OP. Therefore, only one champion can be OP. Gotcha. Argument defeated. Like, fucking puts a medal on his chest. One interment argument. Used whataboutism.
An enemy has been slain.
I will render these mortals' forms into my own.
Except Yone's stats are mediocre. Yone has almost consistently been the #1 most picked champion in the game. Plus, Yone's players are amongst the dumbest and most stupid players in the world. And the players that actually know how to play Yone literally turn him into an auto-ban champion. There's a good reason that Yone's pick rate starts raising with your rank to the point where once you get to like challenger, I don't think he's left the top 3 picks in what, 3-4 years? Even when he's air quote underpowered, he's a top 3 pick in 1, sometimes 2 different lanes.
He will call me a god. God killer.
They've literally had to rebalance several game concepts just to stop Yone from being overpowered with them. In other words, they would literally rather do shit like, they would literally rather have shit like,
Enemy has been slain. An enemy has been
okay.
slain.
They'd literally rather make fleet footwork underpowered to where basically no one uses it anymore than admit Yone might be a problem. If you truly look at your average Yone player and believe that it's the champion's fault he doesn't do very good, you're insane. Did I seriously get an ocean tick right as I was about to die? Is he still coming? Okay.
My training granted.
Yeah, guys, as we've seen historically, no champion can ever be underpowered or overpowered if their win rate isn't 50%. Every champion is equally balanced at 50% win rate. All player bases are exactly made equal 100% of the time. Rammus continuously sits at like a 52% win rate at almost all points in time outside Masters. Therefore, we know that Rammus is actually secretly overpowered. Forever. Yep. Couldn't possibly be that Rammus is just kind of really easy to do good with. No, sir. Secret OP. Azir also sits at a 46% win rate at almost all points in time. Therefore, we know that Azir has never been overpowered, not ever. His recent nerf ruined the champion. He went from a top 10 pick to a top 10 pick. Right. Yeah.
You had the confidence, but not the skill.
The problem with the Aphelios example is Aphelios' win rate continuously goes up the higher rank you are. If Aphelios is 46% win rate, he's actually typically balanced.
As long as this form lives, I will punish them.
An enemy has been slain.
Aurelia cannot beat everyone no matter how fed you are. There are many champions who can beat Aurelia, in fact. Okay, we're kind of getting surrounded. So
An ally has been slain.
Yone full health comboing a Mumu from literally the other side of the map. Haha, outplayed, he says to himself, smirking. How is that champion real? Jesus Christ. Like, they just need to tone his base damage down. If nothing else, they could just tone his fucking base damage down so he can't do shit like Blade of the Ruined King Rush. Like, literally just take his Q damage and reduce the bonus damage to half, and that would actually be a good start. I kind of wish Silas's Q eventually reached a threshold where it dealt normal damage. It's kind of annoying that they have Silas's Q toned in a way that it almost never one-shots the casters unless you go full AP and are fed. Which just leads it, honestly, it honestly leads it to being kind of annoying.
I can smile and murder while I smile.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Hear this constant form of fear.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
My team's killing their team, which I've always found to be pretty good most of the time. Sometimes you don't want them to kill the opposing team because you want to kill the opposing team.
I will end.
Zeri just needs to be toned. Like, the problem with Zeri is she doesn't really do any damage until she does a lot of damage. I've noticed that. At like one item, Zeri doesn't do anything. Like, she gets shield bow and she just like she goes like then she gets two items and she just goes like, what, I get chat restricted again? Wait, it's the same one. And by emphasis on one, the one game. Thank you, Riot. Is the trolling Sivir still active? I have no idea. Someone said they got him in another game and he trolled again, so... Alright, make sure to like this stream and subscribe to the channel. Yone is worse in high ranks. No, he's not. The entire rest of your statement is wrong. Yone does better at the high ranks than he does at the low ranks. That's been pretty consistent, in fact. Is there an issue with Kieslow's ranged AI? There seems to be an issue with a lot of shooting AI in that game. Just doesn't seem to work right. Looks like it might be Udyr top, but very likely Udyr jungle. Either way, Olaf is great here. Not for any particular reason, I just think Olaf's good at snowballing. Yone's ult already barely scales. Like, they can't really do much more to tone down Yone at this point, like, for his ult damage. If you look at it, it's already a 0.8 AP ratio. It just has really high base damage. And it's not even, like... It's not even about the damage of his ult. It's that he ults into a Q into a W. So he uses 3 different AoEs. Looks like it's Yone top. Woo! But surely Yone's weak early game will mean he can't just all in. Wait.
How do you like
To plunder.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
The might of Lockbar approaches.
Minions have spawned.
Dude, how do people play Yone and not feel like dumb pieces of shit? Seriously, I don't understand.
To action! I'm going.
Welcome you.
No, I can't get that. Is he just backing? That's pretty much the optimal situation for me, I think.
The might of Lockbar approaches.
First blood.
Urge to kill rising. To action!
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I'm going.
An enemy has been slain.
He kind of just took a lot of damage there. Do 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 do.
An ally has been
Damn it.
slain.
Chop, chop.
Slain an enemy.
Mother bear.
Well, that sucked. I need to go plated steel cabs because he's gonna go his attack speedy boots. And so if I go plated steel caps, I equalize the movement speed disadvantage.
To action. We look after what's ours.
An ally has been slain. Has slain an enemy. You have been slain.
Yep.
To plunder. The might of Lockfar approaches.
I must have been DD at Omnivamp. Me too. Me too.
Urge to kill rising.
Enemy killing spree.
To action.
No, I just think its current implementation vastly prefers champions who can one-shot and doesn't prefer champions who actually stay in a fight, which leads to a really lame situation. Yep.
An ally has been slain.
He just needs to, like in that situation, you need to stop pressing Q and just walk forwards in Q. Because like you know that you're not in range because your last Q didn't work, so why would your next one work? Why does Yone get a shield when he hits minions? Oh, well I mean that's pretty obvious. You see, Yone is one of the most broken champions in the game. That's it, that's the reason.
The might of Lockfar approaches.
See, if Yone couldn't face tank champions like Olaf, he wouldn't be able to go top lane for some explicable reason. The late game hyper carry needs to be able to tank early game bruisers in lane, or else he just wouldn't be viable.
Rising.
You know. Because Yone, the late game hyper carry, needs to be viable into bruisers. Yep.
Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
As Yone is so cringe, I mean, it's just what happens when you realize that you have literally 4 gap closers in your kit. So therefore, anytime your opponent starts an animation, you can use one of your 4 gap closers to dodge. It basically makes any bruiser without a hard disengage impossible to play into him. Is Tarek just out healing everything? Huh. Wait, but why did they have Senna getting CS? They killed that shit. That's not gonna kill. I don't even play Karthus, I just know that's not gonna kill. You know, when I see situations like that, I thank God that Riot made Yone. I think to myself, what if Yone wasn't made? How would players who want to gap close into a CC, who then want to gap close out of that CC into another gap closer CC, who then want to shield after that CC, who then want to gap close at an opponent who flashed over a wall, who then want to gap close after their opponent flashed over the wall and they gap closed after them after gap closing forward into 2 different CCs. How would those players have a champion that they get to play? So just so we're clear, he gap closed from here to here. When you have to start panning your camera several screens away, maybe it's time to reel back in the gap closing. Don't you think, Riot? Again, I say, Yone's E, both sides of it, should prevent his Qs, as in they should remove them. Why do you want all champs to be the same? How about Yone can't gap close 3 different screens, so he's actually somewhat fair to play, so he can't go top lane and then be immune to death if you're not brain damaged. That worked out, I'd say. I don't think it's wanting every champion to be the same. Like, Yone's fine having a shitload of gap closers if he works for them. Going into a minion wave for 1.3 seconds, queuing twice, prepping then his E into Q into R, which, by the way, because he can Q 2 times during that situation, now he can gap close a 4th time. I don't think that that's very good gameplay. And everything I said is the exact amount of everything. Yes, Yone's Q is a 1.33 second cooldown. You run in, Q, wait 1.3 seconds, Q. So 1.5 seconds, you've Q'd twice, then you E forwards. By the time your E is done, your Q's back, so then you Q, then during your Q knockup, you R. But actually, during that, you can press Q again, so now you have 1.3 seconds, Q, 1.3 seconds, Q knockup, but wait, because your R knocks up, that means you only have about 2 seconds of being double knocked up before the dude can do it again. Does Kat's entire ult give her conk stacks? Huh. That feels wrong. I thought Katarina was gonna enter R with a Q or something. I didn't think she was just gonna, like... well, do that.
I'm going. To plunder.
Damn. The Yone really outplayed me there, doing 2/3 my health after hitting 0 abilities, then walking up and autoing me. So that means yes. He would have killed me from full if he hit that Q knockup. Let's not act like Olaf is some mechanical outplays. You can do significantly more to beat Olaf than you can do to beat Yone. Kinda thought, okay. Like, I knew I couldn't get out of that one, because she would just ER to me, but I kinda figured, you know, Kiana was gonna come. Yone E's forward towards you. He now has 30% movement speed. He now Qs towards you. If you don't dodge his Q, you get knocked up into an R. You're dead from full. If you do dodge his Q, he's now next to you. He starts autoing you. Auto into another Q. Okay, auto into another Q. He now is threatening another knockup. If you get hit by that, you're dead from full. He's used a W shield. It'll be back in 5 seconds. Here's how to outplay Olaf. He threw a Q at you. You sidestepped it. Well, that's it then. He can't get in range now.
To action!
Don't know why you play a game so much if it annoys you. This champion is poorly designed. Then quit! Yeah, yeah! Right, sure. Chat, try deal with the actual argument challenge. Impossible. You know, I don't think I should take half health because Kat literally started her ult. Hit nothing. Idemi started ult, got flashed out, and I lost half my health, huh? What's your favorite Olaf quote? Mine's I'm going. Mine's I'm coming.
Has destroyed a turret. Enemy double kill.
So how did we lose every dragon? If we only played bot lane?
Rising. To action! I'm going.
Yone could also have his movement speed lowered by 10. So that, you know, if he has 7 gap closers, he actually needs to use them to get into range. I think that's most people's big issue with his E movement speed. It feels kind of cheap that the champion has literally 3 gap closers, and then he also gets permanent movement speed. So like, even if you get hit by nothing, he runs you down. It feels like such a cop-out. Like, what if people are really bad at our champion? Will they be able to win still? Ah.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Whoa, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Yone outplayed me there. The way he face tanked my entire combo. I don't think that we should pull people into misfortune, especially with Dragon Soul. I mean, that's why I also said they could just lower Yone's armor by 10. That would be another way to fix the issue.
slain.
Honestly, I'm on Kiana's team and I hate this.
Enemy triple kill. Aced.
I'm going.
Yone face tanking with absolutely no defensive items because he can just shield twice. Into gap close forward, CC, kill from full. I swear, Yone is just a literacy test. If you're actually literate and can read abilities, you automatically win with Yone. Honestly, it wasn't a bad idea, but I mean, it is game over now.
Enemy killing spree.
They'll never see me coming. What a shame.
Which is Steric's blocked? Don't know. They removed that part of the tooltip. I know you're about to ask, but wait, they patched it back in 3 times. No, they didn't.
Your turret has been destroyed.
To action!
Do 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 do.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Blood still doesn't have his quest completed? Huh.
Thunder!
Wait, but he did hit someone. So I'm kind of confused, not gonna lie. Are we really gonna win this game? I keep getting my ult wasted by Tarek ult, because I need to like stand next to them to do shit, but I can't do that. Did you see his insane outplay there? Okay. I don't know. Blitzcrank seemed to think at 15 HP I could get up there and assist. I'll give you a small little hint. I don't think I could. Surely Blade of the Ruined King on Yone isn't broken. Again, Yone just needs to have his base damage nerfed.
Your turret has been destroyed. A summoner has disconnected.
Really? I'm chat restricted again, huh? I didn't know. For the same game? Wow. That'd make 5 times they notified me. Good job. Okay, Kiana eventually showed up and did stuff. I gotta give it to her. She was 1v1ing and killing really valuable targets. That's not good. Yeah, I don't know. Having to fight against Yone. Real fun. Do. Okay, we're up against Renekton. Yay. Okay, so the issue is if you go Stridebreaker, your damage is gonna be lower, but okay, so if you go Trinity, you'll do a shitload of damage, but you'll often find yourself getting kited out. If you go Stridebreaker, you'll be able to get into range, but often you'll find yourself not dealing enough damage. Someone's not connecting. Or also chat restricted. IRL, man, why are you not saying anything? I'm not in a game, I got nothing to say. Sorry, dude. I do my best to talk, but sometimes I don't. My bad.
I'm going.
Time to play my favorite song.
The might of Lothar
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Not that one.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
God, I wish Kislev wasn't fucking awful, dude. I really like the idea of playing a bunch of, like, extremely muscle-bound Slavic men with guns, but the guns are also axes, and then they beat the shit out of demons with guns and axes. But then you go in game and their economy is shit and everything they do is shit and there's no possible way that they can keep up with the other factions. Why didn't I level 1 cheese this guy? Because I forgot to. That's okay, we can fix that. So basically Russians? I mean, you have to remember, again, I know I've explained this 900 trillion times, but I'll explain it one more time for fun. The Warhammer universe is a not Earth history anyway. So yeah, Kislev, which is shockingly, you know, Kiev, Russian, Poland, Slav, etc.
To action!
Basically they're a bunch of chaos-worshipping Vikings that came and settled the land and ruled over. It's the founding of Kievan Rus. Kislev, get it? Yeah. So they did try to base them on Russians a lot, perhaps too much, by making them poor as shit. Huh. Yes, the Norska. I know this will be shocking for many of you to hear, but Norska is actually based on the Nords. Yeah, I kind of thought my shield was gonna do something and keep me alive, but yeah.
I hope you don't mind.
Look what they did.
I think they did Kislev well. See, I actually had a complaint the other day that too often Slavic people just get grouped in with white, and white just means Western European. And too often, all of the Slavs, people are like, oh, don't worry, the Slavs are represented very well by that French knight. And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, don't you see the Slavs are represented? There's an English archer. And you're like, what? So it's nice that Slavic people finally got representation in the Warhammer universe. Why does Renekton do so much damage when other people play him? It's nice, but why Bear Cavalry? They went a little bit too ham on the bear meme. I'll admit. That was a little bit too mememic. But I mean, the other parts are nice. They've got Russian Streltsy, Czech war wagons, Polish winged hussars. They've got light cavalry well represented as well. I don't think they've got anything from the Serbians, but the South Slavs kind of don't get represented anyway, do they? I don't think Serbs ever get represented. Although Serbs aren't the only South Slavs, let's be fair. I mean, imagine being Bulgarian. Imagine being Bosnian. Imagine being Croatian. Imagine being Slovakian. Imagine being Slovenian. People just think you're a mispronunciation of Slovakian.
Faster to battle.
You're like, no, we're a real group of people. You're like, yeah, the Slovakians. No, Slovenian. Yeah, like, you know, Slovakian. No, Slovenian. You're Bulgarian? Oh, I mean, that's cool, buddy.
Enemy has been slain. An enemy
Bulgarians can't... Can they be called Turks? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the Bulgarians were the first people in Europe of the Slavs, anyway. Well, I should say the South Slavs. You have to be fucking kidding me. God damn it. Who were the first South Slavs in Europe, then? Weren't the Bulgars, the Bulgarians, the first people who entered?
The might of Rockbar approaches.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
God damn.
An ally has been slain.
For those of you guys who don't know, the South Slavs were a group of invaders that came to Europe and conquered their way in. They're not native Europeans. Shocker! Yeah, I mean...
An enemy has been slain.
And basically nothing is known about how they got there. That's the other funny thing. Basically, the Roman Empire wrote that one day there were just a bunch of Slavs in their country, and they were like, holy shit.
Sparkling the whole time. And no one
Has slain an enemy.
To kill.
No. The Slavs didn't kill Rome. In fact, to the credit of the Bulgarians are one of the only people in recorded human history that weren't dumb sellout pieces of shit
An ally
when the Muslims invaded the Eastern Roman Empire to take Constantinople. They were like, Bulgars, come help us. We'll definitely not kill you next. Wink! And the Bulgarians were like, alright, so if the Muslims take Constantinople, who are presently our enemies, they will definitely come and kill us next. So let's just set shit aside and help them for now. Yeah, I think this is a Stridebreaker game. Yeah, but the Ottoman Empire ruled Bulgaria because the Bulgarians, well, I'm sure a Bulgarian can tell you this, but they basically got sold out. The story of the Ottoman advancement into Europe is basically a bunch of Europeans selling out other Europeans, being like, I'm sure they won't come back for us. And then the Ottomans came back for them. And then another group was like, let's sell them out.
To kill. Rising. I'm going.
It was the fucking kill right there, too. Damn. Yeah, that would have been... Yeah, he would have died. God damn it. Bulgaria... Okay, but the thing is, Bulgaria could have sold out the Byzantine Empire. The Muslims did promise him land if they assisted, but the Bulgarians correctly assumed that by not being an Islamic power, that eventually the Islamic expansion would hit them. So despite the fact that they and the Byzantines were enemies, they decided to assist the Byzantines, who later conquered their empire, by the way. But, yeah.
has destroyed a turret.
To action!
It's normally in history, everyone sells each other out for extremely small short-term games. Which is why I said that the Bulgarians are one of the only people that didn't actually sell out for small trinkets. Most of the Serbians sold out for small trinkets. In fact, I think every Sov sold out for small trinkets when you really break it down. Again, that's basically how the Turks advanced. I mean, the Turks wiped out the Serbian Empire, yes. They got Constantinople fair and square. They got Greece fair and square. But, like, they got Bulgaria because the Bulgarians were sold out. They even beat Hungary because the Hungarians, well, basically sold themselves out. They got Romania because the Romanians sold themselves out. Basically, everyone just sold themselves out for small trinkets. The Turks, like, contrary to the popular belief of, like, the Turks were these, like, huge, evil, invading Turks. 90% of what happened is crusade gets called. Good, says the South Slavs. Now we'll defeat the Turks. Crusade is immediately backstabbed and sold out by Europeans. But wait, say the Slavs, aren't you gonna help us? You know, beat them? No, says the Catholics.
You have slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Vlad the Impaler, wasn't Vlad famously betrayed by the Hungarians and then treated his own people so shit that his own people sold him out to the Turks as well? And again, Vlad the Impaler, I've mentioned this before. Vlad the Impaler was an extreme... Okay, I'm gonna say this really slowly. Vlad the Impaler was an extremely shit person who was not liked by his countrymen, was not liked by basically anyone. Everyone in his contemporary time period hated Vlad the Impaler. He was not a good person. So why did he get popularized? Because after Romania and all those, well, I should say after Wallachia and Moldavia got independence from the Ottoman Empire, they formed Romania together. When Romania formed, they needed to cultivate the idea of Romanian heroes from history, of which there were not many. So they basically went through and retconned Vlad the Impaler's history to make him seem like this big, heroic anti-Turk fighter, which, no, he really wasn't. He was just kind of an asshole. Yes, Vlad's Islamic brother helped overthrow him. And that's how Wallachia became a puppet of the Ottoman Empire. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but generally the idea was everyone hated Vlad and literally preferred a Muslim on the throne than Vlad. Unironically, that is what happened. Wasn't Vlad and his brother kidnapped by the Turks? Okay, so this is when it gets a bit complicated as well. Okay, Vlad and his brother were held hostage by the Turks while Wallachia was a puppet state, because that was just kind of how you did things at the time. As in, if you rebel, we'll kill your children. Now, it's not confirmed, but it is hinted that Vlad himself was then raped by the Turks under their puppitude. while his brother was actually treated extremely well and converted to Islam, which would explain their extremely different behaviors.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Wow. Huh. Now, I don't mean this to be some huge anti-Turk thing here. When was Vlad turned into a vampire demonic figure? I can answer that one as well. Okay. So basically, you know when I said Vlad was hated by everyone? He was literally hated by everyone. In particular, you have to remember that the Turks, for the majority of the time, were actually playing defensively. They were trying to exert a sphere of influence around them, and they were crusaded a lot. But for the majority, they actually just sat there and defended. Okay? So they fostered a shitload of trade deals with the Europeans at the time. The Germans, under the Holy Roman Empire in particular, traded a lot with the Ottoman Empire, who again were kind of just sitting there getting crusaded a lot. They were not, again, despite popular history, they were not this evil crusading, or I should say jihading empire, okay? The Germans traded a lot with them. Vlad, in his extreme hate of the Turks, started to impale German merchants who traded with the Ottoman Empire. So the Germans then said, wow, fuck this Vlad guy. So they carried back stories of Vlad impaling people and basically had this popular myth that Vlad drinks their blood, you know, like as an insult. Like he murders people, you know, like anti-Vlad propaganda. So then the idea that he drinks blood, you know, he's this horrible person, he's a vampire, blah, blah, blah. That's where that comes from. Again, Vlad didn't really backstab the Ottoman Empire. That's why I said it gets complicated. He was literally raped by the Turks. So he did not have, I shouldn't say the Turks, I should say a Turk. He was raped by a Turk. So he did not have very good feelings. So once he took the throne, he went with the idea of, yeah, but fuck these Turks. His brother, on the other hand, was treated well, and again converted to Islam because he was treated well. So his brother was pro-Turk and Vlad was anti-Turk. So this wasn't, like, the Turks weren't betrayed by them. If you rape a dude as a child, you probably shouldn't allow him to take the throne. That's just, you know, probably don't rape them at all, but if you do, you can't let them take the throne and then be like, oh, why does he not like us? And Vlad hated the Turks because he also liked Radu more. Okay, so once again, this is where it starts getting even more complicated. Yes, people liked his brother Radu more. Now, was Vlad jealous? Yeah, probably, actually. If everyone likes your brother and you get raped, you're probably a bit jealous of that.
An ally has been
You know?
shut down.
It's, yeah.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Perfect hitbox. Where do you have this info from? I mean, you could just wiki it if you want. None of what I said is actually controversial. I've not said any of the controversial stuff, like, is he impaling people because he got raped? That would be more controversial. Chat, is Serbian invasion ground? I mean, I love Serbs. Do you know who I think was a great Serb? The Serbs who helped the Ottoman Empire against Timur-Lane so that the Ottoman Empire didn't collapse. God bless the Serbs who served the Ottoman Empire.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Someone's gonna say something and correct me here, but I'm just waiting for it. Did they surrender or did he just randomly ult? Shit. Just so everyone's aware, when Timur-Lane, the last great Mongol conqueror who was actually a Turk, invaded the Ottoman Empire, the proud Servians, who were a vassal of the Ottoman Empire, sent their best heavy cav to fight for the Turks. And when it became extremely obvious that the Ottomans were losing the battle, I don't remember his name, but the Turkish commander of the heavy cav was like, yo, get the fuck out, you're losing. And the Turks were like, nah, dude, we got this. Just like, give it a little bit of time. Have faith, have faith. And he was like, no, literally get the fuck out. Here, the Turks can't really kill my heavy cav. I'll make a break for it. Just follow me and you can live. And they were like, nah, dude, we got this. And they ended up dying on a hill because they did not, in fact, got this. But the Serbs got out, and then they declared independence because they realized the Ottoman army had just died. Because, you know, they were at the battle. Editor's note: the Ottoman Sultan later died in captivity. Does the Ottoman Empire hold parts of Europe like Eastern Europe and Spain? Well, the Ottoman Empire never holds Spain. Have anything to do with the failure of the Crusades? Yeah. Yeah, actually. If you look at the expansion... Hold on here. If you look at the expansion... No, that's what I'm saying. Is he just gonna tell me I was chat restricted every game now? The Serbs tried to help the Ottoman Empire from collapsing by getting the Sultan out of the battle, but they didn't, because the Sultan was too stubborn. But Serbian heavy cav couldn't really be hurt by Turks, so when the Serbian heavy cav made a break for it, they just got out. They just left. The Turks couldn't really kill them. And so the Ottoman Sultan could have gotten out and avoided civil war and gotten another army, but nope, he was too stubborn, died on a hill with his Janissary Corps, which, by the way, because he lost his Janissary Corps, there was no more imperial soldiers. Oops. Civil war. No, but the Ottoman... let me look this up. A lot of the Turks' expansion into the Balkans was literally just crusades being called on them, and then the crusade failing. Yeah. Yo, Hash, the fuck is that last video? What do you mean? In what way? What are you referring to? I don't know, Warhammer 3 had war wagons. I mean, they've had it for a while. Originally they had war wagons. So there's two different factions in the game who have Czech war wagons, which is kind of funny. The Empire had them because the Empire is supposed to be the Holy Roman Empire, of which the Bohemians, meaning the Czech people, were in that, so they got war wagons to represent that. Then Kislev also got war wagons because Czechs are Slavs. So then Kislev, which is supposed to be like the Slavic faction, got war wagons. So there's two factions, both with war wagons, both from the exact same people, because they technically are in both factions. Which is kind of funny when you think about it. So Ash, basically the Pope called crusade on the Turks and failed all crusades and lost territories. I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, the Turks were expanding anyway. Don't think I'm saying, like, the Turks were a group of peaceful people who did no wrong and just defend... Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they would probably not have been so successful or have expanded so far had these failed crusades not been called on them, and had the Europeans not sold out and basically backstabbed each other. Yeah, basically the complete rapid collapse of the Balkans to where, like, in 100 years, the Balkans went from a staunch Orthodox Christian holdout, and then 100 years later, it's basically old Turk. That would not have happened had there not been failed crusades and Christians backstabbing and tripping over themselves and dumb shit happening. Would it have been conquered by the Turks eventually? Maybe. But it wouldn't have just been like 100 years staunch Christian holdout, 100 years later, like just gone. Just gone. I'm fighting Singed with Azir. The Turks were advanced militarily speaking. I mean, yes, but no. Okay, so this is a popular misconception. How can the Turks have advanced weapons and military capabilities and yet also outnumber and drown their foes in numbers? Because both things were true. The Turks did have an elite corps that used gunpowder and advanced military weapons in advance of Europe, but at the same time, the Ottoman bureaucracy was extremely advanced, and they knew how to conscript extremely large armies. So, simultaneously, both things were true. They had a very large army of untrained masses while having a small army of elite soldiers. So you might notice that it seems to go like very whiffy-waffy, so to speak. That like, how can the Ottomans simultaneously be losing these battles horribly while then also be winning these battles so successfully? Because there's also the military theory that once you go pre-Napoleon, once you went beyond 50,000 troops, it really didn't matter. Basically, that 50,000 would fight practically as good as 100,000 because you couldn't really control beyond 50,000. You couldn't really control beyond 50,000 with the technology of the time, and particularly the military doctrine of the time. Once Napoleon had his whole command structure, like, you know, like I'm here, then I got 10 people below me, then each of them have 10 people below them, then each of them have 10 people. Like, once you went to that Napoleon command structure, it became very much more possible to control 200,000 man armies. But when it was just like, the king leads all 100,000, like, no, there's no fucking way. Like, once you went beyond 50,000, there was basically no advantage. So, yeah. So, even if the Ottomans would come in with their 200,000 strong man armies, it really didn't matter. Their 200,000 man army was basically just as good as a 50,000 man army. Yeah, but even when you look at the Chinese, how many complete disasters did the Chinese have? Quite a few, actually. Their only real stun is Zerath. Everyone else is just a knock-up or is slow, so I'm just gonna go Alacrity here. I haven't looked at the Syndrome mid-scope update yet. Yeah, the Chinese, through trying... Like, the Chinese bureaucracy was quite good, yes. And they could conscript extremely large armies, and they could keep them mostly intact, right? But even the Chinese bureaucracy would frequently have disasters where, like, 400,000 Chinese would lose to, like, 10,000 Mongols. Because the Mongols would actually be organized and working together and working well, and the 400,000 Chinese are basically told, run that away! Okay, great. I know what you're thinking. Oh, they were disorganized. No, worse than that. How do they get water? How do they get food? How do you feed 400,000 people? With go that away! You look at Oirat. Oirat completely obliterated like a 200,000 man Chinese army. They didn't even expect to. They didn't even think they were going to. They literally, they started like attacking the army, and the army literally didn't even realize it was being attacked. And all of it was trying to drink from a river to get water. Then they realized they were being attacked. So then they all started to try to swim into the river and started drowning. So they lost to 1/20th their number. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue of trying to raise 200,000 man people. It doesn't work. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's a little known fact as well. The Middle East was not even majority Islamic until the Mongols. Popular misconception, that one. Islam ran a pretty heavy policy of tolerance because they realized there was no way they were gonna conquer, like how do you conquer Egypt and then rule over Egypt if you're like, convert or we'll kill you? Oh, great. So then what? You have a rebellion every 3 weeks? No. They had to run a policy of tolerance. Then the Mongols came through, and the Mongols were like, fuck you. I'ma kill your ass for not being Islamic. And that's where all the Christians in Iraq went. And Persia. Basically, Timur, to prove that he was the biggest, baddest, coolest Mongol conqueror ever, slaughtered all the Christians in Persia. And he was like, look at me, Daddy Genghis. I'm such a cool conqueror now. And Genghis, of course, rolled in his grave.
The ruins of these isles rise to smite your moves. I will punish them.
How did barbarians beat the Romans? They really didn't. You hear about the few times they did. You don't really read about the 900 times they didn't. Yeah, the early Mongols were extremely tolerant. Then they started being less and less and less tolerant. Plus, the Crusades weren't exactly great for, let's call it, people's thoughts on Christians. Because once you had a bunch of Christians murdering all the Muslims, running through the Middle East, the idea of let's just tolerate the Christians became a lot less stomachable.
Double kill.
Yeah, if you actually look into it, the Middle East was still majority Christian for like 600 years after Islamic conquests. More, potentially. Probably not more, though. 600, maybe 500. A long time. A long time. People look at Jesus tax also as this like horrible practice. They tax the Christians more. Well, right, but then in return, the Christians didn't have to go to war.
An enemy has
So, a lot of people actually preferred that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying that there's a popular misconception as well.
I am not a king, I am not a
Would you pay additional tax to not have to ever be conscripted? Maybe. You know, I knew he was gonna flash on me, but there's nothing I could do about it.
What's one more grave?
In fact, there's actually a video, I showed you guys a video on how did Anatolia convert. Anatolia didn't convert primarily through like sword practice. Anatolia, modern day Turkey, converted kind of just through like displacement.
shut down.
The Christians just didn't fit there anymore. And some of them got killed, yes. A lot of them left and then were replaced. Some of them converted, yes. But it wasn't like an organized practice of kill the Christians. It was more like they just sort of got moved away. The people who can complain most about Islamic practices are the Indians, I think. Because the Indians just got slaughtered by the Muslims.
An enemy has been slain.
I have to sit back and do nothing. 2 Rek'Sai gangs fucks me. Not the Jews? No, the Muslims are pretty okay with Jews, actually, shockingly. They kind of... The whole idea of Muslims hating Jews is more of a modern construct. In fact, while the Christians were massacring the Jews, although I should say the Spaniards were massacring the Jews, it was actually, hey, who came to save them? You guessed it, the Muslims! In fact, I always have one quote, I think it's from Mehmed. There's one quote that was so fucking funny, I remembered it, where an Ottoman Sultan goes, the Spanish king thinks himself a good ruler, but he persecutes the Jews and drives them right into my country. Well, fuck.
Shut down. Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Yeah. That's why I said the Muslim hate of Jews is more of a modern construct. So, yeah, like, I'm not speaking anything of modern day. Modern day is not historical, is it? In addition to that, I'm not, like, well-versed on Islamic shit. I try to do my best, but I believe the historical take on Jews was to just call them, like, what was it, like, tainted Muslims. Basically just Muslims that have been led astray, but they can learn better. Because you have to remember, there were a shitload of Jews in Arabia.
An enemy has been slain.
Huh. Didn't expect that.
Has been destroyed.
Ottomans...
An enemy has
The correct way to view the Ottoman Empire, even though the Europeans called it the Turkic Empire, it wasn't really the Turkic Empire. It was an empire led by Turks, but... it's not like being a Turk just sudden... Like, it wasn't like the Roman Empire, where, like, obviously being a Roman benefits you a lot in the Roman Empire. It was more like Turks weren't persecuted, but you didn't have, like, an inherent advantage for being a Turk. And in fact, much like how in modern times people rant and rave that people prefer immigrants, the Ottoman Empire gets, or I should say at the time, got flack because, like, you would have Ottoman sultans and their vizier would be a Greek Christian, and they'd be like, the Turks like Christians more than Muslims. They're so fucking woke. Top lane's fun. You get to win your lane and then get fucked over because of Rek'Sai, and there's not much you can do about it. Yay! I don't have any ability haste, which is why I fucking hate this build sometimes.
enemy has been slain.
Turks didn't have their babies kidnapped and turned into mercenaries, though. No, they were just conscripted and forced to fight the good old-fashioned way. Everyone forgets that part, don't they? So remember, in all societies at the time, you were conscripted and forced to fight to the death. Everyone acts like, oh, but they weren't kidnapped at least. Yeah, just, you know, threatened with death if they didn't go and fight for the Sultan. Which, you know, is better? Dude, are you gonna, like... Okay. He could at least have helped killed the Herald. Not the Herald, the fucking thingy there.
What's one more ring? I shall perform your rites.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Of course, it's better than not knowing your real family and being gaslit your entire life. Depends.
My darkness was not born.
Y'all painting everything is like super black and white. Everyone likes to pretend like, oh, but don't worry. The Turks had it so good under their extremely authoritarian empire where they were forced to fight to the death and had little room for advancements because the advancements were actually being filled with Christians. Which, you know, is true because the Turks, the Janissary Corps filled most of the advancements because they figured because the Christians couldn't hold any power in the empire, that if they gave them the power, they couldn't hold any power. So then the Janissary Corps and a lot of the viziers and shit like that were held by Christians because you can't become sultan and you can't advance if you're a Christian, so it's totally safe to give them the power. Do you get it? So actually, the Turks and definitely the Muslims had in a funny, ironic twist, actually kind of had a cap as to how powerful they could get.
Darkness eternal.
Which again is why I made the joke earlier.
Take what you
I mean, the Ottoman Empire was not as shitty. Now, if you want to take not as shitty to mean good, that's on you. But most people say that, yes, the Ottoman Empire was not as shitty as their contemporaries. Instead of persecuting the Jews in Iberia, like the Spanish did, they helped and sent their fleet over to rescue them. Instead of persecuting and annihilating the Christians, they didn't. They even... do you want that? You can't get that. Romans wasn't this bad. No, the Romans were pretty shit. The only reason the Gauls got citizenship was so so Caesar could take over the Roman Senate. Plus, again, in case anyone forgets, the Romans were putting all the Christians to death.
Whoa.
There is a darkness in my heart deeper than any shadow.
Yeah, the Jewish populations have a long, proud history of a group of people being extremely beneficial to them and helping them settle in large numbers until they got massacred by generations after that. It happened in Turkey, it happened in Germany. Is no one gonna...
Has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Okay. You walked into that, and you're gonna die. I'm gonna try to help her. Yeah.
Ally has been slain.
The Jews, if you remember, the Jews were invited to Germany by the Prussians, who said, wow, you Jews sure are a respectable lot. Come to Germany. We'll save you from the persecution. I'm appreciating both of them just kind of healing on each other. Are Turkish people mostly Muslims? Unless they pray to Tengri. I think Tengri is actually making a return as an ironic thing. For those of you who don't know, Tengri is the sky god. And I'm pretty sure some people have been ironically worshipping Tengri lately. Kind of like how in like the Nordic areas, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, some people have been like praying to Thor lately. You guys haven't heard? Like in the Nordic, they actually they started building pagan churches again because people have been ironically going back and worshiping that shit. That's not just like a Nordic thing. Turks have been doing that shit as well. It's yeah. I need to go mid. We're fighting. Well, more of massacring. What the fuck? Yeah, it's like people not from areas say that's not happening. Then the people from those areas are like, that is definitely happening. And I'm just like, are you guys serious? Because like, what do you think I do all day? I spend all my fucking day on Reddit and Wikipedia and shit. Just in between queues. The mythical Thor, not Marvel Thor, dude. Dude, I'm not saying it's like an en masse thing of like millions of people are converting to paganism. I'm saying it's seeing a small resurgence out of irony. Kinda wish you stayed and fought with me, dude.
That's one more grave.
Okay, you've finally beaten me. I have no fucking clue what a Huitzilpochtli is. You stumped me, dude. I don't know that one.
Mere mortals, so I may split your shoulders from your spine.
Aztec sun god? It did sound like something Aztec. I don't think I'd follow Aztec religion, though. The Aztecs weren't highly liked because a religion that forces them to go around conquering and sacrificing people tends to be frowned upon by their neighbors. Okay, let's see if we can get over here. Holy shit, how much can one person not die to? Well, that'll do it. Finally. Alright, Sorrel, does you kill her there? Well, I don't. Oh, shit.
Never good to run from your problems.
That's frustrating. Where did my W go? Yeah, it's like Greeks going back to Greek shit. Zeus. I've actually heard that one too. Christendom ruined the Greeks. We was kings before we converted. Can we win this game? Honestly, it's like bizarrely close. It's like so scrappy. It's like the scrappiest game of all time, man. The fuck is a Perun? I'm sorry, I don't actually know every pagan god in the world. I know Tengri just because he was, like, pretty popular. And then he was also making a comeback. Because people are pissed at Erdogan and his effective Turkish regime. So a lot of people have been basically praying Tengri as a protest. And there's also some other reasons. People have mentioned them in chat. Did you really have to get hit by all three of them? I don't fucking know, man. This game is just so... The Finnish pray to Ukko. Okay, I should know that one. That's from Suomenesco, correct? Illyrians actually got wiped out while time traveling. That's a funny way to say they were massacred by the Romans and then replaced by the Slavs. Because the Illyrians were pirates! And the Romans didn't really like pirates. They were like, yo, stop being pirates. And then they didn't! Stop being pirates, that is.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
How many times does Cass uses R? Based on my calculations, a fucking lot. Kinda sucks we got Baron and then gave up Dragon. Oh well.
An ally has been slain.
Feel its pull.
Wow, okay.
Have been slain.
I was not expecting this stopwatch. Well, this sucked. I just got dicked on by Rek'Sai early game, and then never really could recover. Wow, I'm chat restricted again for the same game. Who'd have guessed it? Do I have to do this for 3 days? Ever heard of Archaeopods? Nope. Do 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 do. Why is Aatrox's play rate so high? He's really easy to first pick. That's about it. Are the patch notes out yet? They aren't. Well, I should check if the patch notes even come. No, they should be coming out today. It's very rare that they don't. Very rare. All I'm doing is win losing. That's why I kind of prefer Olaf. One of the only ways you can really take control over a lane and stop yourself from being ganked is by winning your lane. Ah, good. Rumble. We're back. I'll go to the bathroom real quick.
to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Okay, so what am I gonna do? Well, obviously, if we're gonna beat Rumble, we gotta go with the tactic. What tactic are we gonna go with? Level 1 cheese, baby. Honestly, level 1 cheese is like the best thing you can do in my opinion.
To action!
Minions have spawned.
Urge to kill rising. The might of Lockfar approaches.
Okay, does anyone not hear the minions? Are they so quiet? Why are they so quiet right now? This is like creeping me out.
The axe is thirsty. I'm going.
I mean, realistically though, what do you expect me to do against Rumble? The champion basically auto beats every melee in melee while spamming shit from range. There's not a whole lot of interaction you can even do with him.
Urge to kill rising.
Like, I don't choose the level 1 strategy because it's bad. I choose it because it's really good and can shut down some champions like Rumble that are just trying to cheese me out pretty early into the game.
Faster to battle. To plunder.
Yeah, I mean, imagine I was actually trying to fight that shit with that much fucking damage. Not gonna go well for me, is it? I have the wrong runes, by the way. I just noticed that. I was wondering where my fucking mana was. Oops.
Has been slain.
I'm going.
Yeah, get into range of Rumble. Pop all my abilities. Rumble gets a giga attack speed plus damage buff. Kills me from full.
To action! Urge to kill rising.
Yeah, it's good because I was gonna take a fight without enough mana to take the fight, and I kept wondering, like, I'm sure I'll get my biscuit soon, never looking to check why I'm not getting my biscuit.
The might of Blockbar approaches.
Kind of sucks that this dude totally zoned out into him getting an assist into Belveth forcing me to back.
I'm going. To action!
An idea I appeal max Q on Mundo, because it does the most damage, and Rumble just kind of wants damage.
The might of Blockbar approaches.
Yeah.
I've got something for you.
Well, I wasn't expecting Swingy Man to just swing over the wall right then. This kind of sucks. Because...
To plunder.
I think I just go Stridebreaker. This kind of sucks because I really need to go Ninja Tabby, but I need Boots to chase down Rumble. So... yeah.
I'm going. To action! Urge to kill.
Anyone like the part where she knocked me up through my ultimate? Anyone like the part where she literally just runs up and stat checks me with zero ability to counter it? Go, go, Riot Balance! Aggressively tune those numbers.
Slain.
As an idea to Riot, what if instead of extremely over-tuning every new champion, you don't? I know might be obvious to you guys, but Riot has never, ever contemplated this idea.
Death by steel. I'm going. To action!
Hello.
Slain an enemy. You have been slain. Killing spree.
You know the name of the music? You could, yes. And I mean that literally. You actually could know it.
Chop, chop! The might of Lockbar approaches. To plunder.
I trusted Udyr had that first kill, and I would go for the second kill. I always love tag teaming with my friends.
Rampage. An enemy has been slain.
By the way, that's why Stridebreaker can be really good. Right there.
Destroyed a turret.
Simply enough, the fact that you can use the Stridebreaker rather than having to run up to pick up your axe immediately. Because like early in the game, a lot of damage comes from your axes, yeah. But the later in the game you go, like your axes scale 1-to-1, your auto attack scale 1-to-1. So you know. Did he flash?
The might of Lockbar approaches.
Slain.
What the fuck happened? How did I not hit him with that axe? That's weird. I might make a video on the Sindra rework, but to be honest, it's often not done that much for me
To plunder.
to do champion reworks.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm going.
Shut down.
To action!
Rex is doing more damage in all right since you get AD. Yeah, but again, then my auto attacks will also do more damage. So like if I build 50 damage, my auto attacks get 50 and my axe gets 50. So early in the game when my auto attacks are doing like 100 and my axes are doing 200-300, you know, you gotta get more axes off, but I don't know why he didn't Q me there. Did I get in between his Q cooldowns or something?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, whenever I do champion rework videos, they don't tend to do that well. I don't know if it's like a thumbnail issue or something. When's patch notes? When they come out, my dude. Uh-oh. You made me look away. I don't have any mana here, so I'm not gonna use any more mana. I mean, if you want a more serious answer, the patch notes are coming out soon? But yeah.
I'm going. To action! Rising.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
I might be able to get this one in time. I might have to suicide for it. Well, I mean, I got all 3 turrets. That's a pretty good deal. I like how my team's like, alright, now we'll just run right into the Vel'Koz and kill him. Oh no, he's ulting! Like, wait, is he? Wow. Who could have seen that one coming?
Down. Your team has destroyed a turret.
To action!
Is Maokai not viable? I have no idea, man.
Urge to kill rising. The might of Lokvar approaches.
I think if I popped Ghost right there, I could have actually gotten him.
Ally has been slain.
I'm going.
Yeah, but the nerf they're doing on Maokai is pretty big. Hitting his healing is a pretty big deal.
To action! Urge to kill rising.
Could you walk out of melee with Rumble? What are you doing? I'll run to this side of him. Shit, he's autoing me. I'll run to this side of him. Shit, he's autoing me. I'll run to this side of him. Shit, he's Yeah, no shit, dude. What the fuck did you think?
To plunder. I'm going.
Okay, I just need to get a good split push here. And Silas is backing.
I steal.
Guys, what? Then kill her. How did this happen?
Your turret has been destroyed. Slain.
Urge to kill rising.
Okay, so honestly, I did what I could there.
I'll make good use of this.
Wait. I need those. You. Okay, I'm gonna go for Guardian Angel here. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good play. Sure, glad my 3 health items once again equal to an 863 shield on Sterak's. So top tier, so good, yay. I mean, I didn't help with the front line, but surely zoning 2 people out and killing one of them is a pretty good play. Wait, what? Wait, if he steals Bel'Veth's ult and kills people, does he get permanent attack speed? I mean, he's Silas, so it wouldn't really do that much, but is it like Cho'Gath ult? Okay, the patch notes have come out, so do we want to instantly do patch notes? I probably should. Ah, man. $20 LP, so we got up 1 win today. Woo! Go on, chat. Yay! Okay, fuck it. I feel like often though, my patch notes, if I do them live, they get significantly less views. I mean, the last one got 23,000. That's not great. It's not bad. Okay, give me like a little bit though. I want to go get a sandwich. So give me like a half hour. I'm gonna go get a sandwich, stretch my legs, you know, get ready to do them and all that. I didn't really like doing them live. I mean, I don't really like doing them not live because the thing is, when I do them not live, I just do the same shit but not live. Do you know what I mean? It's the same shit but not live. And so it kind of just feels like a waste of my time, to be honest with you. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab a sandwich and shit because I'm kind of like on my break right now. I only get a half-hour break, chat. If you guys were on your break, would you like your bosses telling you to do shit? No, you would not. Therefore, I am sorry, but I'm gonna go take my break and get a sandwich and shit, okay? I'm gonna make myself some food, okay? I'll be back in a half hour. We'll do patch notes. You can watch my other videos and shit if you want. But have a great rest.